Can partner betrayal trauma create intimacy issues? That's our topic today, and it's very important if you've experienced trauma to listen to this. If you've yet to subscribe to our channel, please do that. We have lots of stuff that can help you and your spouse. And if you have a question, put it in the box. Can partner betrayal trauma create intimacy issues? Absolutely. And it would be actually normal for it to create some intimacy issues. I mean, let's be honest. When infidelity or pornography addiction comes forward in the marriage or in the primary relationship, it destroys the partner. Our whole book, Partner Betrayal Trauma, explains that. If you're someone who has been through partner betrayal trauma, get the book, get the video, and have your spouse watch that. It devastates you, the PTSD, the depression. You're not yourself. And also, it's like you've absorbed this car wreck, this bullet, and it's normal for you to kind of pull back a little bit, for sure. Actually, the research in the Partner Betrayal Trauma book shows that before the spouse was aware of the trauma or the betrayal, be it intimacy, anorexia betrayal, or sex addiction betrayal, or infidelity trauma, all of these, they scored higher post on intimacy anorexia. And now the characteristics of intimacy anorexia, being busy, too busy for your spouse, blaming your spouse for all the problems in a relationship, withholding love, especially the way the other person wants to be loved, withholding praise, withholding spiritually, withholding emotionally, limiting, withholding sex or being disconnected during sex, using anger or silence as a way to control in the relationship, and having ongoing or ungrounded criticism, sometimes control around money. But the partner betrayal trauma that a woman mostly, or a man, can have, that they kind of pull away from the relationship, they might actually increase symptoms of intimacy anorexia, but it's not because they're anorexic. Now, if they have been an intimacy anorexic the entire marriage, well, then that might be an issue that needs to be addressed. If it's a reaction from trauma, deal with the trauma. And if you are a partner, get in a group, do the workbooks, do the partner recovery workbook, do the partner betrayal trauma workbook, work through this stuff, and the symptoms go away. They just kind of disappear, because someone who's not intimacy anorexic wants to trust, wants intimacy, even wants sexuality. But it might be too quick, it might be too hard, too challenging right up front. Now, I'm not talking about a year or two later. I'm talking about in the very early stages. Now, there are factors on the offender side, like if you're married and you're the woman who's the partner of betrayal trauma and he cheated on you, there are things he can do to help with the intimacy issues. He can do his recovery, which is the 5 commandments: pray, read, call, meeting, pray. He needs to be in a group. He needs to be doing workbooks. He needs to be making phone calls. Also, if he does a polygraph test to verify that he's been clean from his behaviors once a quarter, that will help you trust. And that'll build trust without trying to guess if those same eyes that lied to you are still lying to you or not. Those are things he can do. The other things he can do is the daily exercises. And this is found in the Intimacy 100-Day Guidebook. It's also in some of the recovery materials, where they do 2 feelings a day with you, 2 praises a day with you, and they pray with you every day. And that also starts helping build the relationship structures back and builds intimacy and connectivity. Because when you're married to someone who's immature enough to be a sex addict or create infidelity issues, they have to mature back. And the exercises help them emotionally and spiritually mature towards you, which is great. That's what he can do. Now, on your side, you're going to have to deal with the partner betrayal trauma. The workbooks, you can call my office, get counseling, or get in a phone group. That phone number is 719-278-3708. You can do the neuromodulation that's in our office that helps to reset the physical brain from the trauma. That can also help you to be able to re-engage and become neuroplastic again in a relationship, and stop coming from a place of flight or freeze, that kind of place, and actually be able to re-engage in the relationship. You're probably going to have to do some anger and grief work. This is the work you're going to have to do if you're going to try to be the woman that you were, or the man that you were, if you're a man who's been betrayed. And so there are things that you can do to expedite. But for there to be some immediate and maybe even for a few months, that might be normal. If it keeps going and going, and if you're watching this and there's been infidelity found out years ago and betrayal maybe from sex addiction found out years ago, and we're still dealing with intimacy issues based on this trauma, then the partner of the trauma really needs to do the work to heal. There are situations where if either person doesn't heal, the marriage can suffer significantly. So yes, part of betrayal absolutely statistically affects a level of intimacy immediately, and also it increases the need for the woman to protect herself if she is the person who's been betrayed. And women aren't really designed for that, so it really kind of jacks them up. So if you're the husband watching this, you really need to do your recovery work. And I would not expect to have your wife be fully engaged with you until there's some time where she can build trust, know that you're not acting out, know you're not calling the other woman, know that you're not having sex with people, know you're not grooming anybody, and that you have really chosen a path of recovery that she can now put her feet down and trust. Because once a woman can start trusting, then she can move towards you. And this is one of the reasons why we do polygraphs, is because some men expect women to trust and to love without the truth. And the truth is foundational for women to move forward. It's like they tell me before they do the polygraph, it's like they're treading water and there's no stability, and they're still juggling the kids and the family and friends and relationships and church and business or their job or whatever's going on in their life, but they're not on solid ground. And when they get the polygraph, they know that they can, this is what's true, this is what's not true. I don't have to believe things that are not true anymore. And I can start to heal because I know what is true and I know what's gonna be true. So partner betrayal trauma does affect intimacy issues. It's normal for it to affect intimacy issues short term. And if recovery is done, they would naturally heal. If it's not naturally healing, I would definitely get some professional help, find out what's going on, because sometimes this trauma, if you haven't dealt with rapes or abortions or sexual abuse, can trigger those traumas, and now you have a compound trauma that you may have to address to really heal and to be fully engaged in the marriage. Well, I hope this has been helpful for you. And if you need help, call my office. We've, for almost 40 years, I've been dealing with partners of betrayal trauma. I wrote the book, I coined the phrase. We have a whole training on partner betrayal trauma. It's like 40 plus hours long. I love to see partners heal. And I've seen thousands connect, be spiritually, emotionally, and sexually mature again and connected again, and their marriages heal when he does his part, she does her part. This can happen, and it could happen to you. And even if he doesn't choose to heal, you want to definitely deal with the partner betrayal trauma. We've had ladies come for intensives who, were divorced 3 or 4 years from the incident, and still they needed to do quite a bit of work. But they did, and they re-engaged life, and they moved back in to who they were and got married again, and they had happily ever after a second time. More intelligent, more skilled, and less bullets inside of them. So wherever you are on the continuum of this process, I'd encourage you to reach out, get connected to some other people that can help you. You have our free Facebook group for partner betrayal trauma and all of these resources. So if we can help you and be a blessing to you, give us a call. We do want you to heal. At least get the partner betrayal trauma information, the book or DVD, so that you know what you've been through is legitimate. Any other questions, put it in the box. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. We want to help you. We have so much on this topic.